Sorry. This is fine. Oh my goodness, my head. I mean, it's bearable, but this, I guess, headache has been going on for like 4 hours. Um, I tried consulting with GPT. If I had to pin it on a reason, even though I haven't been drinking water, it definitely probably has to do with last night's earthquake. Like, so get this. I was already up late. It was around 2 o'clock. I was LARPing, if you will, just watching Corey Kenshin play RE4. I'm getting like real tired. I'm like, okay, it's 2 o'clock. I'm gonna finally lay down. I lay down my pillow. I'm like drifting out. I'm going to sleep, and then this scary like siren on my phone goes off. It was exactly 2 o'clock. I'm pretty sure it was like 2:05. No, it went off exactly at 2 o'clock. But like the siren like starts going off. I'm like, what the heck? Because I've like never heard this noise. Uh, this might be like a unique Japanese Amber Alert noise, but I've never heard it. But it's like, oh, there's gonna be like an earthquake, early earthquake warning. It's like a few seconds after I read that, like the building started shaking, and I was like scared. I was trying to like calm myself down, but I was scared so badly. I stayed up for like an extra 30 minutes until I went back to sleep. Uh, but so, if anything, that'd probably be it. But I actually didn't record yesterday, so here I am recording. Let me pull up my notes. I've been doing something a lot lately where I've kind of gotten a bit more, I guess, into my Japanese practice. Um, you know, right now I'm not exactly doing that, but what I've been trying to do is like just simply talking to ChatGPT and taking every thought that I have and trying to say it in Japanese with the Japanese I know. Anyways, for week 20, I only wrote one thing. It's pretty simple. I wasn't ready for the long, hard, brutally slow, painful, arduous grind. I think, honestly, I guess we all fantasize about things. We're all like, we know that the route's gonna be hard, but I guess initially I was like, yeah, it's gonna be hard, but we're gonna push through. But uh, I guess the hard part that I didn't see coming was the fact that you'll go months. You go months of doing something with little progression, almost invisible. Actually, let me see if I could set up something while I'm doing this because I kind of made like a graph to explain uh, this right here. Damn, I would make like a whole short of this, but with this headache, I'm kind of like a zombie. But oh, give me a second. It's fine. I'll figure it out. Perhaps. Maybe. We're doing this live during a recording session, as one does. What? Anyway. Oh. Oh, wait, I see. Oh, so we just need that. the window capture. We can make that. I kind of don't see it though. Oh well. I might just record it separately and just put it in the video. But essentially, I wasn't prepared for how painfully slow progress is. Um, Biology as a whole is a very slow process, but I know you're like, why are you bringing this biology? Because nature is the great teacher, is it not? But biological processes are often pretty slow. Of course, they're catalysts, but catalysts don't last forever. But these processes are very slow, yet in the end, one by one, I guess, whatever goal is desired can be achieved, such as the body healing and stuff like that. But anyways, the route of learning something and obtaining a skill and mastery is very painfully slow. And that part I wasn't ready for. I wasn't ready to go to the gym for 3 months just to have almost no progress. But on the plus side, once you realize that and once you accept it, it's almost like you could actually kind of get your ambition back. Because, like, okay, now that you know the reality, you know what you're getting into. So now your expectations are more realistic, so to say. But there's another pattern that I recognized of this brutality. The brutality specifically is the fact that you will work hard with 100% effort every day at something. And even then, it'll take like half a year at least for like beginner level. But as far as I see it, there's three main routes you can take. Did I really just do that? Three main. I usually go like, what the heck? So I don't know why I did this. I mean, usually it's like, oh, there's three main routes, but I go like that. Whatever. But anyways, there's three. Yeah, there's three main routes you can take, as far as I see it. Hmm. So the first route is the route of doing nothing, and we'll call this y equals 0. Right? I, dang, I'm really have to like edit in a graph. It's fine. We'll call this y equals 0. Actually, hold up. No, give me a second. So we kind of got it. Cool. I'll just have to like stand here and okay. So essentially, this is the equation. I said earlier there are three routes to take, and the first route is doing nothing. So put that y equals 0. Do nothing, right? If you want to do your little math equation, let's say each of these is like a day. So within 100 days, you'll be at y equals 0. Very nice. Now, now we could factor in another equation. And this second equation is the one that I kind of realized with my Japanese class. All right. Now, with my Japanese class, we've been going for about 4 months, almost 5 months now. And there are kids there that will not do the homework, not do anything. But what's very interesting is that even they have picked up some Japanese, a decent amount. And this route, this equation, this linear equation is what I'd like to call the environment route. So we'll put y equals 0.005 x. All right. Now, as you can see initially with this environment route, doesn't really look like much change. But if we take a look at 100 days, oh my goodness. Clearly, there's a difference. Now, why in the world did I put this at 0.005 as your, I guess, A, if you will? It's not A. But the fact they're being multiplied by x. And the reason why is because still, we're holding on to the idea that progress is still slow and requires change. And then there is a third route. In this one, there's no set value for what is being multiplied by x. But for this sake, we'll just say the third route is y equals 0.0075 x. And this is the route of you trying hard every day. All right. We'll just click that. What can I? No, I can't. We take a look at 100 days. Sorry. And this is the progress we have. Now, ultimately, these three paths lead to completely different trajectories, right? If we're looking over a long time frame. In fact, let me, if I could, actually I can do something a little bit fancy for you today. Let's say give me a second. All right, I'm doing this on my phone. Can I use this? Yeah, that's pretty good. Changes eraser though. So let's say that I'll do it like this. We'll say so x equals the days, right? All right. We'll say y equals. We'll say progress level, skill points. For this case, we'll just say skill points. Oh, you did not see that. Points. Can almost. It's almost there. Skill points. Now with our first equation, let's compare all three paths with what we good. 5 years. So we do 365 times 5. Quick maths. For the sake of simplicity, we'll just say 2,000 days. So we're going to compare each path with 2,000 days. So the first path is y equals, I don't know why I was doing this, but it'll be 0 times 2000. I don't have an actual calculator with me. Actually, I can do it. Okay. 0 times 2000. Now, obviously, this is just 0. So, with 2000 days, 0 progress is made. That's the first path, right? Now, with the second path, we have y equals. What the? Y equals 0.005 times 2000. Right. 0.005 times 2000. We get 10. Oh, very nice. And then with the third route, we get y equals 0, y 0.005. Sorry, 75 times 2. I don't know why this actually only make that 2. Boom. And that equals, watch me do this math in my head. 15, obviously. Quick maths. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Despite the ugly little things that are being brought up here, you can see that with the zero effort route, the environment route, and the actual trying route, 3 completely different outcomes. Now, we could change this y equals to this number right here, this not variable. Coefficient? Technically it is. This coefficient right here can be changed. Can be changeable. So essentially, that is the equation for success. That is the equation for success. So, just a few minutes ago, actually, before recording, well, first, I called my friends to see that they're actually partying and drunk. Um, I'm not envious at all. But then I was also thinking about how this morning I actually went to 7-Eleven. This employee was, a bit harsh. She didn't say anything, but you could tell she's kind of in a rush and like annoyed. But I was just thinking how like these employees kind of were just like working there every day. I go to the 7-Eleven so often. I've seen everyone, and they kind of know me. They kind of recognize me. But it's like these people go every day, and they can like barely survive. And that's how it was working my warehouse job. It really opened my eyes. It's like, well, would you rather that your life be work and that you can barely survive, or that your life is work and that you can actually thrive? So, obviously, the second route would be optional, optimal, I guess. Other than that, with my fitness, I haven't gone to the gym. What is this, like 3 weeks now? Terrible, I know. And it actually shows. I decided to measure my waist like a few days ago. Actually, yeah, I'm getting like fat on my waist. Got like an inch, almost 2. So I was like, okay, only let me start getting into it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I really have much else to say. I'm really gonna hit hard in this my Japanese studies, so that's for sure. training for mastery, I guess. Uh, yeah, I guess that's it. But I guess with the environment equation that I brought up earlier, I have. I'm fortunate that I'm young and I have time. Uh, Yet at the same time, there's a lot of things that I need to change in order to have the life that I want, and it will definitely take time. But it will never happen if I don't take the first step now, which is to, at the very least, be in the right environment, or if not be in the right environment, then make slow changes every day, gradually doing better than yesterday. It doesn't matter if it's fitness or the gym or whatever. Progress in itself, growth in itself, change in itself is often slow. And although the amount of effort and energy you put into change day by day may vary, in the whole long run, in the grand scheme of things, it's very important that you, at the very least, have the mindset of simply doing better than you did yesterday. As long as you could hold on to that, those tiny improvements will compound over the years. That is pretty much all I have today. Thank you for watching. Okay. It's the same day, but I was editing this video. I wanted to add something to it. Um because you've heard me talk about success and stuff like this for a while, but of course nothing has really come out of it. And I actually, on my way to a convenience store, had ChatGPT look at other people that were in a similar predicament with me. I don't know why I didn't look this up earlier. By the way, shout out to this. If you ever come to like Japan, Suntory is like a very what do you call it? It's your branded water. But they have water and then they also have like these flavored water things. There's usually like three. I think there's a fourth that's kind of like clear, but this one's pretty good. I don't know what flavor it is. Uh, Kirito, no, Sword Art Online. Yogu, Yogu. Hold up. Anyways, I was looking for people that were in a similar predicament with me, and what they actually said was that what did they say? They essentially said that if you weren't someone that was already like disciplined in all these things, then moving alone would really only make things worse. It's very interesting because people actually, especially the whole internet as a whole, we kind of romanticize the idea of moving out and like having like a solo arc in Japan or another country. We're like, yeah, we're gonna change our lives, but it seems like in reality the almost opposite is happening. Try to imagine this. This is essentially, oh my goodness, you're essentially put in an environment where all your worst habits are like, anyways, you're essentially put in that in an environment where all your worst habits, like how, like why, like naze, whatever. You're essentially put in an environment where no one is watching you. You have all the time in the world, all the distractions at your hand. No one's holding you accountable. And that's the world you're living in. So I don't know what the heck this is. And I don't like it. But because of the thing with the solo arc, it was solo arc. With the solo arc, you have no distractions, but in this case, every modern convenience and distraction is at my hand. So what ends up happening is that it's almost the opposite effect of the romanticized solo arc people think of. So what does this mean exactly? I'm now like actively thinking about this because like if I go back to my old ways, there are things lifting me up, structures making me want to maybe go to the gym more and stuff like that. But at the same time, those habits that I still had, it's like there's just a safety net for them to exist. So, does that make sense? Like I'm saying, like both can kind of exist, and they're. I can't articulate my thoughts properly. But with moving out, it's you're given the environment where both extremes can exist depending on how I guess you live. Essentially, you're given a space where all the worst habits can kind of thrive and stuff like that. So, I guess unfortunately, deep down, this is kind of just who I am. So the path to change that, I don't know. You'd really have to get rid of the distractions. I'd have to focus on my life. I've I live far from even the students at my school. I am just completely alone every single day. I only really go out to get food. So what to do? It would be difficult, but I could try and just ruthlessly cut off distractions and stuff like that. But anyways, that's pretty much it. I was just gonna say how people in similar predicaments basically say that, essentially the solo arc isn't as all of that as it seems to be. And the reason why is because you yourself as an individual aren't exactly ready for the change. Anyways, that's all.